Hi, my name is Naomi, and I'm the creator of 2&4, who makes handmade products for your two-legged loved ones and your four-legged loved ones. Today I have an embroidery project that I want to do. I want to do this design on a hoodie sweatshirt. Unfortunately, the design of this sweatshirt has a seam line across here, which is going to put the design square on my chest. But I'll have to live with that. But before I even do that, I want to make sure that I like the design and that it looks good on the black, the colors I've chosen. So I am going to, I do not have any sweatshirt, black sweatshirt fabric, but I have some black fleece, so we're just going to try it on that. I'm actually going to do it on the wrong side so that there's not as much nap on it. And I'm going to use my multi positional hoop because the design is bigger than the 5x7, and that's the largest that my Brother PE800 will do. Alright, so I have my hoop and I've drawn my cross lines so I know where the center is, and I am going to just slightly spray it, and then I am going to put down the piece of fabric, and then we'll go to the embroidery machine. So I'm just using 505 temporary adhesive. Alright, so I have my hoop. I put some topper on it, water-soluble topper, only because this is fleece, and I really want to see how it comes out. So I'm actually going to start with the bottom. So the multi-directional, multi-positional hoop has several holes to hook it onto the arm of the embroidery machine. So I'm actually going to use the bottom ones because that's where I'm starting. And make sure you have plenty of room. I may have to move my machine. Yeah. Alright, let me pause this a minute. Alright, made sure that I moved the machine. Okay, so I'm going to see where it lines up. I've put my USB stick in. I've pulled up my design, and I'm going to do a trace and see what it does. Alright, I already could tell I need to move my design that way a bit. But when I do that, I have to remember to do the same thing on the other side when I change the hoop. Alright, let's see. I just want to test what the design looks like, because if I don't like the design, then there's no point. So when you use a multi-positional hoop, it first gives you a tack down stitch that it always puts in black, but I just use the first color I'm going to use. we'll start embroidering the design. Sorry, my dog is barking. It's close to, well, it's an hour away from dinner time, but he tries to get fed early. So I learned a very important lesson, and that is when you're doing a multi-positional hoop, first do everything in one color, which means you're going to have to move the hoop back and forth each time. And if I had not stitched out a test sample, I would not have known. So if you can see, my V in the red love ended up being underneath the pink V. So to avoid that, I'm going to do on my sweatshirt, I'm going to do all of the pink on both sides of the positional hoop first, and then I'll go and move the hoop again and do the red. So you'll see when I actually do the sweatshirt exactly what I mean. Here's another caution. The screw and the nut from the hoop fell out. So I'm going to make sure that all of them are tight before I do this again, because it could have gone into my machine or it could have hit the needle and it would have been a real problem. So make sure if you have a single needle machine like this and your hoop has screws and nuts, make sure they're tight before you use them. I was originally going to embroider on the front, but I've decided that I'm actually going to just put my logo on the front and embroider the design on the back. That'll give me plenty of room to do this design. I'm going to start first by finding the center of my hoodie, the center back, and I'm going to mark. Now, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so it's an experiment for me. All right, I am actually going to use a chalk pen to mark because this is black, and it's really hard to find white erasable pens. For like other things, I use the Pilot friction pens, but on black it's really hard. So I'm just going to use a chalk marker. And also the advantage to the chalk marker is just a little bit, a wet rag, and just wipe it down and it'll come out. All right. I think that does it. I'm going to mark it. in a couple of places, and then I'll draw a line with a ruler. This is an oversized hoodie. I like my hoodies to be big, almost like I'm wearing a blanket. Okay, going to line up my marks. All right, I've drawn a center line. I'm then going to, I think I want the design. I think I decided that it's actually about 9 inches on center horizontally. I'm going to move the camera down so that you can see. All right, so I've moved the camera down. Hopefully you can see. I think what I'm going to do is measure 9 inches down on each side and then draw a horizontal line, because I think that's where I want it. I will pin it and try it on and see if that's really where I want it. Mark on there, and then I'll mark on this side, and then I'm going to draw a heart. That does not look right. Let's do that again. I think the sweatshirt is all twisted. That's just not looking right to me. So I think what I'm going to do is I have another tool and I'm going to use that. But first let me just, okay, it's about 7 inches down from the neckline. All right. All right, so I have this T square device, and it is, I don't even remember what this is called. It is called the T square alignment tool. I think I got it on Amazon. If I did, I'll link it. So all I've done is I've kind of placed it in the center, lined my ruler where I wanted it, and then I just used the chalk pen to draw a line, and I'll just join the center line that way. Okay, so I'm going to take my design and I just fold it on the marks that mark the centers, and Then I'm actually just going to line it up to the mark, line my center, line my horizontal, so I'm lining vertically and horizontally, and then I'll just open it up on there, and I'm going to just pin it for now, just to so I can try it on and see if I like the placement of it. And once I've pinned it, I'll just try it on. So I did decide to move the design down 1 inch. I felt it was too close to when I don't usually put the hood part on, so it's down, and I felt it was too close. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to put some tearaway in this, in the multi-positional hoop, and then I'm going to put some poly mesh no-show inside of the hoodie. So what I've done is I've just kind of marked the back. I turned it inside out and marked the back so I know where to put my no-show poly mesh. And I've just kind of quartered the poly mesh so that I can find the center, and I'll mark it, I'll match it up with the center of the sweatshirt. So I'm going to spray it now with 505, and then we'll take it from there. All right. So just going to take the center, and it can be approximate because my design is not bigger than the sheet. It's smaller, so. And that's it. Now, I've put tearaway in the hoop. I've done some markings, which I'm actually going to do on the sweatshirt. And then I will line it up. No matter how much space, it's just never enough. And I'm going to be floating my hoodie in the hoop. All right. All right. Yep. All right. I will definitely be taping up a lot of this. To keep it out of the way. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going to work on hooping this. I have to spray the tearaway and then line up my vertical and my horizontal lines. All right, so I'm putting a pin through the center. I am going to try to fold my material and fold the hoodie horizontally on my horizontal line. Now let's see. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. This is, I'm using the pin as a guide for my center. So I have something to gauge where my center point is. All right. So now I'm hoping it's pretty good. Check over here. Let's see how close. Pretty good too. All right, I can live with that. All right. I will be taping this down, pinning it down, taping this all up, including the sleeves, so that I can keep as much out of the way as possible. I'm just using some painter's tape. I'm going to tape this up so like my sleeves don't come down into the embroidery field at some point. All right, I'm gonna use a snap bracelet, I think. I'm gonna try. Let's see if that works. Let me grab one. Okay, just to kind of help hold it in place there. And this is a project that I'm going to have to watch carefully. So I want the red over the pink. So I'm going to do all of the pink first. So I've got it set up to do the bottom, and then I'm going to do the top, and then I'll go, at which point I think I can do the top and then do the bottom. I don't have to, so maybe 3 movements of the hoop. If there's a better way to do this, then please let me know, because I'm new at this. All right, so I have it set up on my bottom hoop. I have the bottom design picked out, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on embroidery. I am actually going to skip the tack down stitch, the basting stitch. I don't like to put more holes and knits than I absolutely need, and since this is for me, we're going to go ahead and chance it. So I'm going to move this to step 2. All right, so I've moved it to step 2. It's going to do the pink, and then we will move the hoop after it finishes so it can do the pink on the top part. I just stop it so I can cut the thread. Since I have to babysit this, I'll cut as many threads as I can. All right, so it finished embroidering. What I'm going to do is go get the other design. And then I'll move the hoop. Okay. And I will see in a minute how good it is at lining up. So I'm going to move this to the top 2 holes on the hoop, and then I did not hear a click. Always try to make sure to hear the click, because then I know it's on there. It has less of a chance, there it is, of popping off. Okay, so now let me do a trace on this so it'll go to what it thinks is the center. off the bat, I see I could have put this down better. Okay. All right. I'm going to say okay, going to embroider, and then I am actually going to skip step 1 and go straight to step 2. So, all right. And just want to pull a little bit more thread. And here we go. I'm just going to cut this. I stopped it because I noticed in my design that my 2 and or 4 is in pink, and I had it originally in red, so I'm not sure when it changed. So I'm actually stopping the machine, 3566, and then I am going to change my thread. Alright, so I changed my thread to the red, and I'm actually going to back this up 1 stitch. Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to go from there. Now I will have to go back to my file and see why that happened. Just going to let it stitch a little bit more. Alright, so I've clipped the thread. I'm going to continue. I tied my hair back. I have very curly hair and it gets in my way. Okay, it's going to stop there because it thinks that the 2 and or 4 was in a different color. So I'm just going to go ahead. It's going to now do the E and the heart. Alright, so it's done here. I already see some things that I would do differently, but I'll discuss those at the end. What I'm going to do is now go back and pick out my other design. It's okay to cancel. And now we're going to go and go to page 2, pick that. All right, and then I'm going to move my hoop, and then we're going to see if it's aligned. So I'm moving my hoop to the 2 lower brackets. It's snapped in. All right. So I'm going to let it go around. So it'll come back to the center of what it thinks is a 5x7 hoop, not center of a 5x12. Okay, that's pretty close. All right, the way that I can see if this is lined up is I'm going to go to the embroidery. I'm going to go to step 3. All right, and that'll put me at, I'm going to work backwards, so I'm going to go to the V in love. So I'm going to go here. Okay, we're getting real close. I think it's going to work out okay. Yep, I think it's going to be okay. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say okay, I'll go back, and then I just want to make sure that it's on the 3rd step, which should be the red. Yes. Okay. All right. And here we go. So it's starting with the curve on the heart. Just going to cut off the thread. Stop in a minute. I want to see something. Yeah, I think I want to cut this. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting the pink threads where the L is going to show its open loop. It's hard for me to see, but okay. Okay. That's it. All right, I'm going to take it off of the machine and unroll it, and we'll see what we've got. All right, so I've cleaned it up a bit. I still have to clean it up some more, but I'm pretty pleased with how it came out, but there's a few things I would do differently, and that was I hooped it yesterday and let it sit overnight. And I've actually should have waited until right before because the spray adhesive wore off a little bit. I apologize. That's my dog barking for his. So it didn't lay as smoothly as I would have liked it to, but it's fine. It's for me. I still have to do some more cleanup on the inside, but honestly, I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. Again, my name is Naomi. I'm the creator of 2 and 4, and I would appreciate it if you aren't subscribed, if you would subscribe and also turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post a new video. This was kind of fun. It did have the challenge of, you know, I couldn't just keep it on one side of the hoop. I had to do the pink first and then move it, you know, so that the red would end up on the top. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Bye now.